when it comes to the delivery of the training, never underestimate how stupid people can be. If you've got that as your mindset, then you're prepared for those daft questions. You'll certainly be more patient with people, and you won't get caught out if anybody does come up with anything that comes strictly out of left field. It's never a nice thing to say that people are stupid, but if you've got that at the back of your mind, then you'll be well prepared. So as well as people being prepared for people being stupid, also be prepared for the fact that people can't always use computers. Not everybody is a whiz kid. I've done a lot of training sessions, and you can ask people to perform some of the simplest tasks. You say, please open a new browser window, and you're greeted with some blank stares and people just going, I don't know what you mean, how do I do that? So if you assume that you're going to come across a few people in your training session that aren't particularly computer literate, then again, you're going to be patient, you're going to take time to explain things, and you won't get exasperated when people asking you how they can get on and achieve particular bits and pieces. If possible, it's a good idea to try and match the skill levels. So if you've got a group of people who are particularly adept at using computers, train them as a group. If you've got another group who aren't particularly good, then try and put those together. It's not always possible, but if you can, then it stops people getting frustrated. Particularly the people that know what they're doing. If the training is constantly being disrupted by people who are struggling, they're the ones that are going to get frustrated. People learn far more effectively if they're actually doing something rather than just by being told how to do it. So the centre of all of the training sessions that Odin deliver is this hands-on approach, getting people to do the tasks themselves so that they can get a feel for what they need to do rather than just giving them handouts. I've certainly found that a follow the leader type approach works very well, where I'll run through the exercises on a screen and then people will copy what I do. And through the process of doing that, they quite quickly and easily pick up what it is they need to do. In the beginning, I used to give out step-by-step instructions for completing some exercises, but people, again, going back to some people being stupid, people can't always follow a simple set of instructions and they get flustered and they don't know where to start. So getting them to copy what you do is a good way to ease them in without necessarily throwing them in at the deep end. People like to learn, yes, but they only like to learn things that they're interested in. If you like baking, then learning about some new pastry techniques is probably going to be of interest to you. Very few people are actually going to want to learn how to use a content management system. I can't imagine anybody wakes up in the morning and says, oh goody, CMS content author training today, can't wait for that one. So just be aware of the fact that you're really not going to be entertaining people. They're only there because their line managers probably told them that they need to be. So try and make it as painless as you can, and don't expect any whooping and cheering at the end. So we know we're not going to particularly excite people, but we can at least make it painless. So as far as the approach goes, keep it relaxed, keep it nice and informal. Always encourage questions as often as you can to make sure that people feel comfortable with what they've learnt, and give them the opportunity just to make sure they haven't got any areas of confusion. Be relaxed and confident yourself in the way that you present the training. If you are, then there's a fair chance that people will think you know what you're talking about, which is always important. And if they think that you know what you're talking about, then they're going to have faith in this, more faith in the skills that they're learning. Try and maintain the right pace as well. Don't rush people because you think that everybody wants to get to lunch. At the same time, don't spend too long going over and over the same ground. It's quite tricky getting the right pace, and there will be a lot of things that get in the way of that, not least the delegates themselves, people struggling, people racing ahead in their abilities. But if you concentrate on doing whatever you can to keep the session moving, but at the same time making sure that people understand what they've just done, then hopefully you'll have a successful training session. Alongside the delivery, you're probably going to want to give out handbooks and documentation to the delegates. As much as possible, you need to make sure that the documentation you distribute is as relevant as possible. So align it as closely as you can to the tasks that people have been performing during the course of the training. Avoid giving out generic handouts. The handbooks and documentation that people take away with them are most likely going to be the first point of reference that they turn to when they go in to start using the CMS, especially if there's a gap between the training and when they actually start going into the system. So when you're compiling your documentation, imagine that you know nothing about the CMS whatsoever. That way, when you're putting it together, you will hopefully be able to convey the message to people that have a very small understanding of the system. To people So to summarise, number one, understand the installation, know what it is that you're dealing with, what it is you're going to train. Two, find the right environment. Make sure that you've got either a dedicated training room or you've got somewhere quiet and well equipped so that you can deliver the training without any interruptions. Have the right virtual environment. You want a dedicated box so that there's not going to be anything that's going to interfere with the delivery of that training, cause the box to crash or cause people to struggle. Make sure that the equipment that people are using to do the training is up to the job. Then understand the users. Make sure that you know what it is they need to learn. That way nobody's going to be wasting anybody else's time. You need to be patient because some people are stupid and some people can't use computers. And then you need to keep it relaxed, but you need to be confident so that you can sound knowledgeable and maintain a good pace. Well, I hope you found that useful. If you have any training requirements, then please do get in touch with us and we'll happily talk through how we might put together a package. There's a number of approaches that we can take. It doesn't have to just be formal training sessions with a tutor in front of a board. We can run some workshops and we can structure it around some real world tasks and help people with implementations that are already in place. But whatever your training requirements, please do give us a shout and we'll do everything that we can to help you out. So thank you for that, and hope you enjoyed my little video, and I'll hand you back to the rest of the day. Thank you.